Hello, this is Man of PvE 42. Let me backtrack. This is my low life Blade Vortex, aka Weed Whacker, aka Lawnmower build. This is done on a Scion for several reasons. And at level 85, I felt that the core of the passive tree was done. And it's always good to have extraneous points, because next level I'm going to be getting this. Well, let's begin with why I went Scion. So, the reason you go Scion, well, personally I went Scion, is because you get these resistances nodes which help you getting capped for LE resists in Merciless and beyond in mapping. And most importantly, skill effect duration. It always helps Blade Vortex. The longer Blade Vortex is up, the more you could have up, meaning more damage, and you get a jewel socket. And especially with the Ascendancy, we get Assassin for more crit chance, so more damage, and Berserker for the leech and the 10% more damage. Now, the primary focus of this build is not about defense, but more so about offense, because the choices I made in this build were more for boosting my DPS up. I didn't care about defenses for a majority of the build. So we're gonna start with the gear. So you want to use a dagger because Whirling Blades is hands down the best movement skill of the game. You want spell damage, crit chance for spells, crit chance, and crit multiplier. Cast speed is not needed, and attack speed is a quality of life mod you could get for your dagger, so you Whirling Blades faster, like so. I could have got a 1.9 plus attack speed dagger, but I didn't. For the gloves, we want face breakers because extra gore looks cool, and mainly because of the 90% crit multi. That adds a bunch of DPS. For your boots, just get regular ES boots. Now, if you are rich, super rich, I mean, you have to be kind of rich to do this build. You would have to, I suggest doing this build as your second build at the start of a league, because you do need shafts to go low life. Unless you want to do a budget version, which I don't know why would you want to do that. And, well, for the boots, if you are rich, you would want to get Skyforts, but I highly doubt anyone would have Skyforts in the first 2 days of a league or whatever. And for your helmet, you just want a standard ES helmet, just get as much as you can. And then you want Shavs. Shavs helps you go low life because of the line here that says chaos damage does not bypass energy shield. Shield, get more ES. And for the belts, best in slot is a physical damage rustic sash, and just cap resist. Just try to cap your resists all over your gear. For the ring, this ring, I felt diamond rings were the best for this build because you want to go as much DPS as you can, and more crit chance means more crits, which means more damage. This ring is primarily for the strength. As you see, it's 48 strength plus 9, that's 57 strength plus. And over here, this one is the opposite. It's a dexterity ring. Well, I master crafted strength, and you try to get ES so you can up your ES base, your effective HP. And for the neck, spell damage, multi, max ES percent, flat max ES, rarity as a quality of life, and I could have got, no, I was looking for one with crit chance too, and this is best done on a turquoise, a gate amulet, or whatever. It has 2 stats. Because the reason these rings are here is to fill the prerequisites, the stat prerequisites for gems like Blade Vortex and Increased Duration, which are 2 main important gems for this build. Now, if this build did go defensive, this ring or one of the rings would have been a Dream Fragment, so I don't get frozen because we are low life, and the status of being frozen is based off of your total life pool at what it's at, and we're super low, like 99% reserved life. And for the neck, I could use an Eye of Chayula so I don't get stunned, but since this is DPS build, I said just get a DPS neck and get more DPS. Now for your main gem setup, you have Blade Vortex, get quality on it, more AoE, more effective clear speed. Higher the level, the higher the damage. Faster casting, more casting, more blades up. Spell echo, same reason. Increased duration. Life leech. Wait, this is not increased duration. This is life leech. The reason we go life leech is because we have blasphemy plus assassin's mark, and not warlords. If warlords is up, you get like 4% leech, which is super good, but that is for defensive. I have life leech right now because of assassin's mark. If I really wanted to, I could go increase duration for more DPS, but I felt my DPS has reached the ceiling at the tier of maps I'm doing in which it does enough damage. And finally, increase crit strikes. This is important as this gem got buffed, as it adds a flat percent to your crit chance, and the base crit chance for Blade Vortex is 6, and that's good for a spell. 5 is trash. 6 is good, so 6 plus 1.9, 7.9 plus assassin, which makes it 8.9, I think, and that's high. Crit chance without the 6 power charges allocated is 59.63. In my opinion, that is high. And looking through the other gems, you have Whirling Blades, so faster attacks. If you want, you could have Fortify. Increased duration is here for leveling. Now Assassin's Mark plus Blasphemy plus Warlord's Mark. Switch in between depending on the map mods you run. And Summon Stone Golem just in case. I don't think it works because of Zealot's Oath or whatever keystone I have. And then Blood Magic with Discipline and Clarity. Discipline, so we go low life, and then Clarity just to fill out the rest, and the mana regen does help. Over here, Val Discipline plus Val Haste plus increased duration. I realized that with these duration nodes, they also buffed the duration of Val Discipline and Val Haste. So in mapping, I get about 15 seconds of uptime of Val Haste and Val Discipline. And then Summon Lightning Golem and Hatred. Hatred for the DPS, of course. I chose Summon Lightning Golem as the cast speed does help, just like faster casting and Spell Echo. And the attack speed helps with the Whirling Blades. Now looking at the passive tree, we have the Resist, the Jewel Socket, skill effect. Same over here, skill effect, ES wheel, Harrier, more speed. Now this is like the biggest defense thing I have, energy from within, and that's only because this melding is originally a hybrid of energy shield and maximum life percent, and this is, I think, the best slot for ES anywhere on the tree. Pain Attunement, of course, that's why we go low life, spell damage, duh. ES, AoE, crit chance, spell damage, ES plus maximum lightning res, power charge. And as originally these nodes, Alchemist and this Jewel Socket, completed this wheel and other nodes on the tree, but I got an inspired learning jewel, and it's like a mini headhunter. It's fun to play with, but for this to work, you need to allocate 4 major keystones, and I already had 3 of them. That was Instability, Blast Radius, and Arcane Focus. So then I moved some points around, got Alchemist. That helps with my flasks here, which I'll explain later. And so that's a mini headhunter that's fun to play with. Big DPS boost here, Force Shaper, more crit Doomcast. You need Ghost Reaver, Life Leech, or else you're gonna die. No life flasks in a low life build. Infuse, more power charge, Trickery, more crit chance, Cold Hearted Calculation. It's more of a gateway to these nodes, but it's pretty good. Assassination, more crit chance, Nullification, more ES, and the flat resist does help. Fangs of the Viper, good node. Will of Blades, Fizz damage, crit chance. Coordination, attack speed, cast speed, similar to Harry, it's very good. And Valpact, Life Leech. I realized I need Valpact because my damage is insane, and I could leech instantly, and I was playing with Warlord's Mark and no instant leech or high leech rate, and it was super slow, and I risked dying. Gonna pick up this Jewel Socket because it's worth, because it's 2 nodes away, and that is the passive tree. And what else is there? Oh, flasks. At Zeri's Promise, more DPS. Diamond Flask, more DPS. It rerolls your crits more. Mana Flask. The reason the Mana Flask is here is because you roll something on it like freeze immunity, and so while you're casting your Blade Vortex, pop it, and it's gonna keep regenerating. If you do the math, you could get it so that it like loops it perfectly. And then Quicksilver Flask is just good, and Sorrow of the Divine. It's a sulfur flask, so it does have that 40% increased damage. And Zealot's during flask effect is this node, and I can't travel over there, it's too much levels. Life regeneration is applied to energy shield instead, and that helps when you're standing there next to a boss, just AFK killing him pretty much. What else is there to talk about? Not that much really. This build is pretty good. 14,000 DPS unbuffed. I mean with the auras up, of course, but then with flasks up it goes to 20k. And when you get mini headhunter going with Val Haste popped, it could reach up to 35k. And you have to remember that that tooltip is the DPS for one blade, and on average I'll have 10 to 20 blades up, and that pretty much weed whacks everything. This has been a Man of PoE 42 Dank certified build.